So, if you are struggling in life or you have no results after spending months of self improvement, this video is actually for you, right? I know this because there are three ideas, three reasons holding you back, right, that held me back, and I feel like sharing them in this video because I kind of realized that ever since I had to fix these things in my life has felt different. I have moved better. Now, why I'm sharing these things because whenever I'm talking to new guys, literally speaking, it's the same thing. It's the same three ideas I see show up in every area of your life, right? The first one, I'm going to go straight into it because everything is interwoven. The first, and they all work on each other though. The first thing here is a lack of vision, right? You're consuming content, you're doing all these habits, improving your life, but no results. One, you have to realize that without a vision, the people perish. There's a reason that scripture is there. Because a vision gives your mind direction. A vision makes you register what is distracting or also what makes sense to you. Because without a vision, how the fuck do you know the step to take in life? Because without a vision, for example, a typical example is without a goal of your physical fitness, guess what happens? You will eat anything, you will always be on your couch, you never see a need to take that effort. So everything starts as a man, everything starts improving when you have goals you're working towards, when you have vision you're working towards. That's why I tell people that set goals in every area of your life. Now, you may not have those goals actively in every area of your life, but if you redesign your lifestyle now, you can achieve most of those goals, right? What that means is set goals in your health and fitness, right? And make it a lifestyle, add it to your habits. Set goals in your financial area, set goals in your social life. Because here's the harsh truth, right? If you don't have a vision, you'll be distracted. If you don't have a vision for your fitness, you're going to be lost. There's so many guys who become rich, but when they look at their social life, they're basically fucked. Right? And a lot, because I come from a tech background, I speak to a lot of tech bros. And they've come to realize that in their age 30, some of them are not introverted, some of them are quite extroverted. But after being in tech for years, they've come to realize that, bro, this shit is a lot. And it's basically like, it has run through them. Again, most guys I've seen, which is also me, their vision is built from a place of ego. Their vision is built from a place of wanting to show off. And there's also a dangerous aspect to that where you take up goals, you give yourself a vision based off the internet's version of your life, right? A typical example is $10,000 per month. I say, guys, which is not bad. Making money is not bad, but when you're setting a goal simply because someone puts that goal in your head, you don't own that goal, there is a problem. There is always a big problem because at some point when you hit that goal, you still feel empty inside because you don't feel like showing up again. Something that also makes it stronger with you, something that makes it strong again, having a strong why for the goal in your head, bro. There's nothing as powerful as that. There's nothing as powerful as you having a strong reason for why you are doing the things you do. Second thing I'll talk about here is if you have a vision, right? One thing that held me back is a lack of belief. Again, a vision actually comes from within you. There's a reason I can't set a vision for you. I can only guide you on what you should be looking at if you want to create a vision for yourself. But if you don't believe in it, you're fucked. And to be very frank, right? I know this because for years I have been operating in terms of fear for myself on my vision, right? Where in my mind I will tell myself things like, nah, it's not possible. But these days I've become to realize that this law of attraction thing I've been hearing for a while, it should be real. Why I believe it should be real is if you look at all the top performers, literally every single one of them has practice that they got from what? The law of attraction. Again, I've come to realize that, you see, when it comes to success in any area, belief must be present. You see, you can get wealthy. You can get wealthy without working hard. You have inheritance. It's possible, but I don't really buy that because, to be very frank, if you kind of like have money come your way that you did not work for, I kind of believe there's a high chance you're going to squander it because you don't know the value of money, right? But guess what? If you work as hard as you can without belief, trust me, you're going to yield zero results. What that means is no matter what you do, belief must always be there. Yes, fear. Fear is what stops us. But I know that, right? So whenever I feel that fear, I don't really see it as a problem. I'm saying this because, again, it's easier for you to know what's going on in your head when you observe people. Like I've said, I've seen this in my life. I've also spoken to people, and I've come to realize that the vision sometimes might be there, but fear, the lack of belief, is holding you back. And if you really dig it right, everybody, you already know what to do. So why aren't you doing it? Because you're afraid it's not going to work out. Now, if a tip I'll give to you here is right. A tip I'll give to you here is if you look at any top performer, because I remember watching this documentary of Kanye, and Kanye said when he was broke, he'll be rehearsing his Grammy speech, but he was poor. Nobody knew his name. He was rehearsing his Grammy speech. Do you know how crazy it is? Every single one of them, whether it's Michael Jordan, whether it's MMA fighters, every single champion in every realm of life truly knows this. That belief plays a huge role. You see, if I was given 10 minutes on this particular point, I'll give it because, like I said, I'm somebody who one other thing that damages your belief, is your thinking, right? Where you are trying to be logical. But here's the harsh truth. Look at people who excel crazily in any field. How much logic do you think they have? Think about it. When high school students invented the airplane, what kind of logic was there? I'm saying this because this idea that set smart goals, reasonable, time bound, whatever the fuck the acronym means. I said no. Create dumb goals, delusional, unrealistic. I've forgotten what. Then the B is the belief. So, but I'm saying this because now I don't have the results yet, but I have to be somebody who walks, talk, acts like somebody who has the results. At the same time, why taking action? But let's be frank, right? Let's be frank. It's like trying to go to a very far place. You only need to know what to do next. You have a vision, right? And you believe you're going to get there. Your mind strongly believes it. You're taking that action, right? Putting one step in front of the other. At some point, you will get there. Now, the third and the very important thing now is long-term thinking, right? Because I used to have this idea that, I want to share content, I want to share my ideas, I want to share my lessons, I want to share what works for me. But I need to pay my bills now, so let me just leave content creation alone. Let me start on tech. Let me start getting paid well in tech. But let's be frank, to be very honest, that shit drained me because I've been having this strong desire to create online. And I remember one of my guys saying that was because I was creating tech content at first. When I told him that, bro, I don't feel my spirit is tired of tech content. What told me was, bro, I knew this day will come. This is what I tell you, if you want to have friends, be very, very specific on the people you call your friends. Because this guy he said, like, bro, I knew that at some point you're going to switch your content. Because he knew that he had that very strong belief in me that I did not have in myself. Again, the friends you surround yourself with will either make your beliefs better or they will dilute your beliefs. This is what I tell you, your friends should be scrutinized. So the main thinking here is, I want to do XYZ, but I don't have money. But why don't I get rich first so I can do XYZ? But ask yourself, is that what? And this is where this saying comes in that says, if money was no object, what would you do? If I had all the money in the world, I would still create this content. If nothing ever pays me, I will still create this content because I get a sense of fulfillment when people reach out to me and we discuss their problems and they feel because to be very frank, some of them implement, some of them don't implement, but they feel like yes, that their life is literally now in their hands, and that's all about self-improvement, right? Your life is literally in your hands. Start having a vision for yourself. Start taking yourself serious. Start believing in yourself. So that thinking, right? Long-term thinking comes from, I say, if you let it flow from your vision, right, it comes from your heart. But your short-term thinking comes from your brain, the ego wanting to show off and say, you know what? I've got this $10,000, right? I'm earning See, I'll tell you something that when you start getting money, right, from the place that is not quote unquote your dreams, guess what? There's no way you're most likely distracted. You would 100% be distracted. You're most likely not going to come back to that goal because again, you waited for your results to change, and before you knew it, the goal fades away. I was in tech, and not for months. For the past 4 years, I've been having burnout every few months thereabout. The only way I deal with my burnout is reduce my workload. But bro, at some point, I had to call it a quit. Where my chest will be pounding, I'm still working on client work. Now, I'm slowly easing more into this content because I've come to realize that this is where I think my heart lies in, right? So, again, one thing you should realize is any business model works. So it's not about switching business model 200 times, but it's about figuring out what business model resonates with you. The business model that kind of resonates with me is more like life coaching, right? Helping younger men. Some people, it could be e-commerce, it could be drop, what they call it, e-commerce on the rest, right? Or drop shipping, or just. But the whole point is that if you have a vision, you believe in that vision, you have to think long term, because if you're trying to be logical, right, you can't believe. You cannot have beliefs and be logical. One thing that will help you here, which has helped me to believe more. Like I said, right now, I don't feel like the results are not obvious, but that strong feeling of belief is there. And this is what I do to increase my belief. Two things I do, I will help you with. If you just go to YouTube and type law of attraction mixtape, right? Law of attraction mixtape. You see these people who have calmed down, right? To clip audio or videos where people who have gotten high in life are there motivating you. For example, now is you have people like Kanye, you have Conor McGregor, you have all these guys talking about how the life they live now, they envisioned that life years before they got it. Again, long-term thinking. These are guys who could not afford certain things, but now they can afford it. So what that means is, don't get distracted. Don't fall into the idea of, oh, for example, now there's a guy who I know who wanted to learn how to fight as a pro fighter. Told himself, let him go into business first, right? Then pause his fight training. But that guy never came back. He's training with me, right? But he's training with me as a beginner. But this guy is somebody who had learned the techniques. But bro, his body is now stiff. He has to relearn it. He has to become more efficient. But bro, guess what? Injuries. And it's a matter of time where I think he's going to give up. So it's more about, if you believe in it, right, start asking yourself, what actions can I take right now, right? This is where your thinking, right, your long-term thinking is working with your long-term heart, right? And this is why I'm creating vlogs, because I know that in the next 5 years, my vlogs are going to be different. They'll be much more interesting. They'll be much more impactful. And that is where I'm driving toward my vlogs, where if anybody watches my vlog, it's not just about just telling you what I'm doing for the day. It's about what lessons have I learned in that day, what mistakes have I made and have I learned in that day, right? So, brother, that's all I have to say, man. If you're still watching this, I'll tell you for a fact that your attention span is still the roof, and you're somebody who takes himself very, very serious, even though you have not really been seeing results. Start by having a clear vision, start by believing in it, and start with long-term thinking, because short-term results doesn't really work looking at any area of life. Right? So always learn to think short-term, think and feel at the same time. What that means is, whenever someone says, oh, it doesn't make sense, always remember that the people who have the highest success, they were never logical. The people who made shit happen were never logical. Look at it since the dawn of history, right? Like I said, I did not want to make this video a motivational video. My name is Stone Oreye. If you like any of the concepts you heard in this video, I want you to please share with a brother who you find it helpful, who has been on self-improvement and feels like he needs to improve his life. Please share this video with them, right? And watch them thank you for it. At the same time, it kind of gives me this satisfaction that I'm helping other men out there to achieve their purpose. If you like what you're hearing, thank you very much. Share this video. Talk to you soon. Bye for now, bro.